Hello guys, I'm Jasmine. I'm going to be presenting the body, gender, and identity. Behind the mastery is Carolee Schneemann, whom she was born on October 12, 1939 in Fox Chase, Pennsylvania. Here we can see one of her most important events that she did. And this is an early work where she combined painting with a performance. It featured oil and canvas mounted on a turning steel potter's wheel. The piece exemplified her multidisciplinary approach to art. And then here, this is another important piece, which marked a historic part of the feminine culture and identity in this performance in the 1960s. And then Carolee dies at age 80 on March 6, 1990. Carolee dies right here at age 80 on March 6, 2019. Okay, so Meet Joy was one of the most interesting artworks that I found, and it's not included in my research paper, but I just wanted to put it in here because I just thought it was very interesting. So in this performance, participants engaged in both scored and improvised movements using a variety of disparate materials. This piece challenges societal norms and cultural taboos. By using the naked body as a material for art, Schneemann exposed and confronted prevailing conventions. 8 performers, including Schneemann herself, are covered in paint, paper, and paintbrushes. They crawl and writhe together, interacting with raw fish, meat, and poultry. It's very strange, but it's very interesting as well. Interior Scroll. Interior Scroll was a performance created in 1975 considered a feminist artwork. Schneemann's exploration of her own body and this act of self-representation aligns with feminist themes of reclaiming agency and challenging social norms. Interior Scroll has the qualities of the theme, the body, gender, and identity, by having Schneemann herself being the main character that rebels against the gender roles of a woman. The act of using her body to convey the empowerment of being a woman by pulling a paper out of a very sacred, life-giving body part, which is the vagina, she reclaims her power as her identity of being a woman and centers it simply on that. Schneemann uses her body as a canvas and it challenges conventional forms of art. Schneemann pulls out the piece of paper from her vagina and reads from it. She blurs the lines between personal experience, artistic expression, and the audience's perception. Elements and principles of art present in the artwork. The color of the artwork is black and white, monochromatic. The darkest parts are the emphasis, Schneemann's vagina, as opposed to the lightest parts for the message of this artwork, in order to convey the message of the artwork. Texture can also be perceived with the paper that Schneemann pulls out of her vagina. This makes the print more interesting because it shows a textured paper coming out from a sacred place, which means that is an emphasis on the symbolism of the importance of the woman's vagina and the importance of being a woman in a patriarchal society like today. Portrait partials. In Portrait Partials, Schneemann explores the fragmented nature of identity and representation. Rather than presenting a complete portrait, she focuses on specific details or partials of the human form. The images represent different people with different body parts like penises, vaginas, eyes, lips, and noses. This provokes the viewer or the audience to reevaluate how they perceive and construct and recognize individual identity. The themes of body, gender, and identity are present by implementing the lack of personal identity of the characters in the artwork. There's no way to know like who are these people. That's what makes it interesting. It uses the sacred parts of the body that make up their personality and gender to create this interesting perspective, as you can see. Elements and principles of art present in the artwork. The black and white medium allows her to highlight the nuances of skin, hair, and other bodily elements. Lines are visible in the separation of the portraits. The monochromatic color highlights the lack of identity of these characters. Also, contrast, repetition, pattern, proportion, and balance are present. These images are proportional to each other in size. So these two images were from a museum window from the Forbidden Action series, 1979. This performance art piece made out of images was another addition to her lasting impact on contemporary art. The piece revolved around censorship, taboos, and the boundaries of artistic expression. She also achieved and reclaimed sensuality and challenged the patriarchy-dominated art world. Since she appeared naked in the paintings, this is a way of contradicting the objectifications of her body and the female body altogether by men. Forbidden Actions represented the themes of body, gender, and identity because it represents the female identity of always trying to survive in a male-dominated world by breaking the societal rules that center around being a female, which meant always being delicate, modest, and not promiscuous for the fear of being called a whore. Because this is true, it's still something that goes on today. This is conveyed by using the female body and gender as a canvas and a medium to convey the message. Elements and principles of art present. Line, shape, and color, pattern, and balance. Color is being seen here by using red and white. This showed the emotion of the message, which made it more intense to the viewer audience. Her body became the living line because of her movements. Repetition is seen by having the same images cycling and repeating each other. There is a significant pattern due to this repetition. Balance is also seen here because it looks even throughout the inclusion of the past settings. The images are just repeating each other, and she is like moving in the images, which also means she is like the medium itself, not the medium itself, like she herself is a living line because she is moving. That's what I'm trying to say. And lastly, my works cited. Thank you. Sorry, this is too long.